BLSP stock update. So by now we should have reached 300 shareholders of record. The last time we checked, it was 297, and even I believe several weeks ago we had already reached that 300 number. So we are just right now, formally, I would say, based on Ray's count, we are 297. I can say easily, by the time you're watching this video, we would have reached the 300. So somebody commented on one of the videos we uploaded, and it says we should come up with another video to explain what is next. So amongst other things, this is an update in that regard. So what is next is that for sure the transfer agents involved, they will notify Blue Sphere Corporation formally that they have reached this shareholder of record. I mean, would they have seen all of these things going on. They must have notified. They have notified Blue Sphere Corp, because we have seen the evidence that they are aware that we are coming. The shareholders are the army is growing, and they are coming to take action. So they will have, I'm sure by now they would have already informed them that they have to. This is what the case is. You now have 300 shareholders of record. So legally they have to comply with what the regulation indicates, that they have to disclose their financial outcomes. When the time comes. So on our part, we have been, thanks to Ray of 808 and a lot of the others who have joined in. So we are making this effort now. We now have the regular meetings. There's going to be one today, the 22nd of November. I think sometimes it's, I don't exactly have the time, but you would have seen some of that. If you have already notified Ray of 808 about your DRS number. So amongst other things, some of the things you can do is to be on the permanent invite list. Email Ray of 808 on stock tweets, provide the DRS number. Once approved, you receive all future links. The theme of the critical meeting is this is the meeting that will take place on today, the 22nd of November. Enforcement plans, power in our hands. Okay, so there's this C.I.G group. I believe this group project is to see whether some of the shares can start to be purchased and all that stuff, to boost their things up, because one of the things that is holding back the stock is that there isn't any buying, and there's absolutely no action right now. The accumulation it started to be in a downward trend, but it has not. The trend is not deepening. The trend has flattened out. It's just in a sideways mode. It's just or a cruise mode, not extended, not depreciating. That is, people are not buying. They are either also not selling. Okay, that's what the accumulation distribution indicator is. It's indicating to some extent. What I think to some extent is also pretty much declining. So for those who wish to record your 100 BlueSphere Aggrieved Investors Group LLC legal fund, that's the site here. That's the GoFundMe site. So it says here, help fund the retainer towards BLSP legal challenge. That is, if you are convinced about this, you can always go ahead and make your donation. Some people have done so, and when you come here, you can see some of their comments. There are about 5 comments here on this, and some of them have also provided their DRS numbers. And they have also donated as well to that GoFundMe project. So and he's, according to Ray of 808, he says here, corporate power, the power of the people. By the end of this week, that will be sometime on the end of this week, maybe. What would the end of this week be? Let's see. The end of this week will be the 26th of November. Okay, we'll have This is by now this week. BlueSphere Aggrieved Investors Group will be officially known as B.A.I.G LLC. So with this, we'll have the power of our investors in a corporate structure to do battle with Blue Sphere Corp. Now the SEC will listen to our grievances. So you can always on your own always go ahead and email the SEC and indicate to them that this company, Blue Sphere Corp, has now reached 300 shareholders of record, and you expect them to comply with the regulation, and at the same time as well, this will be a little bit far-fetched. Probably tell them that there isn't actually there wasn't any basis for them, and indeed the exchanges and the mediums to have blocked or restricted the trade in BLSP stock. There was no reason. I would say there isn't any reason. There was a reason to protect investors, because they're not exactly. This is a company that has. The reason why they restricted the stock was the interests. It has become a meme stock, to say the least. So to cut a long story short, so they had to protect investors because the company is also it has a dark status. So given all of that, yes, it's wise to protect investors by placing those restrictions. So, but at the same time as well, it is the restrictions is not exactly the reasons for the restrictions is not as solid as the reasons for going dark. So the reasons for going dark doesn't exactly automatically mean that restrictions have to be in place. So the reasons for the restrictions, I believe, is much more discretionary than otherwise. So you can always go ahead and notify the SEC about all of these things, that you don't see any reason why these restrictions should still be in place. And you can always say they're not going to do anything to you. Just indicate that. So that's some of the things you can equally do on your own as well. We don't have to only rely on this. This is good as well, but in your own case, you can always go ahead and communicate with them and express yourself to them that way. And by the time we come back as formally in a corporate way through B.A.I.G LLC, and then added to your own communications to them, they will see it will all add up. So that is where we are right now. The transfer agent must have informed them that this is what the case is, and I believe, like I indicated earlier on some time ago, that in as much as the rule says they have to now come out of the dark, they may also want to rely on legal efforts to ensure that they still remain in that status. Because sometimes the rule says one thing, and it's not exactly automatic that the law is not always followed, as it were, as to the latter. Sometimes there may be case laws that has interpreted the law or the regulation otherwise. So that is maybe what Blue Sphere is probably relying on, all along, or that's what they may rely on, to ensure that probably they continue to remain in the dark, So, but at the same time as well, you never know, they may still be making efforts to come out to disclose some more information. And nothing even stops them from even just disclosing a communication, uploading a disclosure, something to address all the things that's been going on their what is it called, on Edgar. Put it out there, talk to people, and they have not done any of these things. Nothing really stops them from doing that. And by just even communicating, saying something, that's also different from fighting or disclosing financial information. But they have not done any of these things. That's not really good at all. That's a bit petty. So fingers crossed, that is what they may be. Let's just believe that they are, arranging things with their solicitor, their counsel, to probably fire back and to defend their position, their status, and all that stuff. But unfortunately, we're following the regulation, and we have got the shareholder of record up to 300, and even probably, I believe, way more than 300. I believe it's way more than 300. So yes, fingers crossed, something should come out. Something should come out. So before we end this, so let's just quickly go down here and look at this indicator. That's the indicator we are talking about, this accumulation distribution indicator. So you can see it's in a downward trend. Yes, it's in down. Okay, yes, pretty much it's been declining. Yes, it's been declining, meaning that more and more investors are taking money off the stock. So the trend is a downward one. So it's we obviously know that this is what it should be. That's what is also going on right now. So see which one you're going to do. You're going to fund, you're going to transfer your DRS, update at rate of 808 and all that stuff, or donate, or whatever it is, or email the SEC, communicate to them, and tell them, look, this is what's going on, this is, and all that stuff. Nothing, the more communications the SEC receives about BLSP, then it will, become of, they will take it up, to become important to them, So we'll continue to update you, and thank you very much for watching this video.